5090s are coming in stock. The 5070 Ti is a lie, and so might have been the 32 gig RX 9000 series. AMD says it's not real. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. Just want to remind you, we do have that PC giveaway going on over on our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/UFD Tech. You can pick yourself up a very melting, exploding PC, 9800X3D 5090. We're going to be drawing the winner for that February 28th, next Friday. Not this coming, but the following Friday. And you want to join us for that. And it might be easier for you to get your own 5090 sometime soon, with reports coming out from the supply chains that there's going to be a stupidly high number of RTX 5090s that are going to be coming within the next month. So sometime in March, that scalpers will cry so hard. And part of this is because NVIDIA is going to be repurposing different yields of their chips to make it so that they can produce more consumer cards. Allegedly, we'll obviously wait and see if this plays out. I'm thankful that I was able to finally get a card that I could put into the giveaway PC, thanks to the fact that I was selected by Newegg to participate. It wasn't the Newegg Shuffle, it was something different where I just got an email saying, hey, buy this in the next couple hours or we're gonna give it to somebody else. And I was able to get the GPU for the PC giveaway that we're gonna be doing. The RTX 5080s entered into the Newegg Shuffle program. It doesn't look like we know anything about the 5070 Ti supply. We're gonna talk about the pricing, which will probably make it so that these cards are gonna sit on the shelves for a little bit. But at least if you didn't buy a Scalp 5090, you're gonna be sleeping real nice. And you should definitely do it with today's video sponsor. You fellas wanna know a secret? I like being comfy in my bed, and I'll bet you all like it too. Lucky for you, today's sponsor Helix Sleep is running an awesome sale right now, so there's literally not a better time to upgrade your mattress. Personally, I've been on a Helix Sleep mattress for many years, ever since we moved here to PA. At this point, I really can't imagine sleeping on anything else. Even just last month when my employee and I ventured out to Vegas for CES, and as comfy as the Venetian's beds are, they couldn't hold a candle to my Helix. And what makes Helix truly a great mattress is the simplicity. Once you choose your mattress from Helix inclusive lineup of over 20 unique options, it comes boxed up straight to your front door. All you do is unbox, unroll, and enjoy. Backed up by a 10-year warranty and a 100-night sleep trial, Helix is sure they have the right mattress for you. To be sure of this, in fact, Helix offers their Helix Sleep Quiz to help determine exactly what mattress is best for you and your sleep habits. Personally, I'm a side sleeper, while my wife likes to sleep on her stomach, so we got paired with the Dusk Luxe mattress. And with a lineup including Helix Plus for big and tall sleepers or the Helix Kids mattress designed for growing bodies, it's no wonder Helix is able to perfectly pair you to your mattress. And towards the end of 2024, Helix was also kind enough to hook us up with 2 new mattresses for the office space we have here. With the team members in South Africa who come to the States or need a place to sleep during marathon streams, having Helix in the office has definitely been a huge plus. I, alongside with the rest of the UFD team, love our Helix mattresses, and I'm sure once you spend a night in yours, you will too. Right now, Helix's President's Day sale is running now for a limited time, and they're offering yins an exclusive discount this month, 27% off your mattress purchase. Grab this deal for yourself by going to helixsleep.com/UFD Tech or via the link in the description. As always, a huge thank you to Helix Sleep for sponsoring. Well, it appears that the MSRP of the 5070 Ti is just a dream. It's a fabrication, a total fake, because as prices are being revealed by retailers for how much this card's gonna cost, it's not anywhere near the $749 price point. Now, let me just caveat that by saying the Founders Edition doesn't exist, so it's not real, and there is only one MSRP model. NVIDIA is not selling this card directly, but when you look at various different retailers out there, there is only a singular card that comes in at the supposed price point that NVIDIA is saying. However, that could very quickly change with tariffs and other reasons that are happening. It's the PNY card. They're very tightly connected with NVIDIA. They used to make their Quadro cards, so it makes sense that this would be the reference version. But when you look at the average selling price of these GPUs, it's $930 on Micro Center. These GPUs are nowhere near $750. They are over $150 more than that, a 20+% price hike over what NVIDIA said was going to happen. Now, this could be for the reasons that we've heard of tariffs are the reason why these prices have been bumped since January, which could help to explain one of the reasons why NVIDIA rushed to announce their 50 series was so that they could be like, oh, we didn't know if the tariffs were gonna happen, so we just said what the prices should have been, and now economics and all of that changes, even though they probably could have forecasted that just like everybody else could have. So it's kind of deceptive if you want to look at it that way. The other way to look at it is NVIDIA is wrong. They set a price point that nobody is willing to take the profit margins on, that the 749 price point that companies would have had to sell their GPUs for would mean that they're either taking losses or it's not even worth selling the card in the first place, so they have to jack up the price. Either way, NVIDIA just kind of putting gamers in a worse position than the RTX 5080. I can't even believe I'm saying that, because I got my RTX 5080 at Micro Center for $1,100, so about a 10% increase over what NVIDIA said, but we're looking at 20+% higher than not just the 5070 Ti's quoted price, but also the 4070 Ti Super. It's just more expensive than that. Now, benchmarks are coming out. We're likely supposed to be getting the full reviews of these GPUs coming out tomorrow, but the 5070 Ti is allegedly 17% faster than the 4070 STI. Coming in with performance numbers in 3D Mark, it is slower than the RTX 5080 by quite a considerable margin, but when you've got the Asus versions of these cards breaking $999, they're $1,000. This is a worse deal. The 5070 Ti does not look to be worth it in the slightest if you can't find it anywhere near that 749 price point, because it's not just like it's a little bit off. The vast majority of units are 850 plus. The average selling price for the 5070 Ti, at least here in the States, is $930. We're not just talking $799. We're not just talking, oh, there's a few models that are like 850 plus. No, the vast majority of them are. This price point is just horrific. NVIDIA is putting gamers in a much worse position. I can't even imagine what's gonna happen with the RTX 5070. Is it gonna be a similar situation? We're supposed to be getting the $549 price point, but in reality, we're looking at a $700 card? Well, it doesn't look like the competitor to the 5070 is going to be any more better price, because there's been reports that these GPUs have been purchased at retailers, because one of the reasons it got delayed was AMD changed the price, so it messed it up, and these cards have been sitting at retailers for over a month, so some of them oopsied and sold them, which means other people are unboxing them on the internet and then also trying to scalp them for a profit. This individual wanted to sell it for €1,600. You can see that this has 3 8-pin power connectors. NVIDIA, look! You can do that. You can give it more power connectors. GPUs can take those. Who knew? Theoretically, this GPU shouldn't melt, but it will have a high TDP, the Power Color Red Devil version of the 9070 XT, which is typically one of the more higher overclock versions, is allegedly gonna have a 900 watt power supply rating. Other ones are allegedly supposed to be in the 800 watt region, so it's not gonna be super efficient, especially compared to the RTX 40 or 50 series, but price points came out on Amazon because people were actually able to purchase the 9070 XT, and it's not happy pricing. 9070 XT was $770 up to $850. Now this card's supposed to be slightly better than the 5070 Ti, not quite matching a 5080, and if this is real, these prices aren't very good. 9070, $650 looks to be the starting price there. Again, not very compelling. However, retailers sometimes guess. It's not 100% clear that this is accurate. A person was able to buy it for $950, and they have allegedly a March 10th delivery date. Amazon's likely gonna cancel that, but GPU situation's not looking great from Team Green or Team Red. But let's go ahead and talk about the future of Team Blue. We're not gonna talk about the Intel acquisition stuff that's going on because there's just too much that is unknown. There's like deals that are happening with TSMC and Broadcom and the US government and the administration and Intel splitting up, but AMD actually has to be able to approve the buyout because of the cross-licensing of x86-64, where AMD gets to approve whoever's purchasing it, because they put that in the clause because Intel thought somebody was gonna try to snap up AMD, so they had to approve who's getting the license, and if they don't like it, they can cancel the license and make it so that the person who's buying something effectively doesn't get anything. Intel put that as a poison pill for AMD, now it's a poison pill for Intel themselves. It's a whole thing. Anyways, GPUs, Celestial, we're getting reports that Intel actually might make this themselves at their own fabs on their Xe3P architecture, not over at TSMC like they are currently doing with their Battlemage and previous Alchemist cards. They might make it themselves. if they still exist. We'll see how that goes. And we'll see how much money Reece can save you with deals.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. Hope you guys are enjoying your second Monday of the week, and let's jump straight into it with a classic today. The Logitech G305 Lightspeed Wireless Gaming Mouse, which is currently going for only $29.99, making it $20 off and a great pickup for a great mouse. But then next up we have this Insignia Electronic sit-stand desk, specifically the 48-inch version in mahogany for only $59.99. Now this obviously does not go on sale for $299.99 regularly, that's a bit much, but for $60 it's one heck of a pickup. I could definitely recommend getting a nice slab of wood that you could replace a tabletop with, and you have one heck of a desk for under $100. And then lastly today we have this Asus 27-inch 1080p 75Hz IPS monitor, which you can pick up for only $89.99, making it $60 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below, but until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, turns out that Apple thinks you're getting too good of a deal when you use Apple Maps. They want to shove more ads in your eyeballs, just kind of like Google Maps does, where they can have promoted restaurants, locations, people, enterprises just being elevated in the rankings so that you go to them first. People don't like this. People are like, hey, Apple Maps isn't supposed to kind of do this stuff, but Apple's been already doing this in their Stocks app as well as other ones, so it's not unprecedented for them to make this happen, but it looks like they're going to be starting to make more money on the ad side of things, even though they actually make a ton of money on the hardware side of things. That's no longer enough. Nvidia passed them as the #1 company at one point. Now they got to make up for it. And I got to make up for a lot of misinformation that went around on the internet over the weekend because of this article that came out. Microsoft removes Windows 11 24H2 official support on 8th, 9th, and 10th gen Intel CPUs. You can see this on multiple different outlets. Additionally, they also added support for Ryzen 8000 CPUs like the 8700G, etc. And plenty of outlets just saying Windows 11 24H2 is dropping support for these CPUs. They're not going to work. 8700K, can't use it. 9900K, debunked. 10850K, you're not allowed to use that on Windows 11 24H2, except for if you actually read what Microsoft said, it's just that companies aren't allowed to sell new PCs with Windows 11 24H2 that have those processors. New OEM builds with Intel's 8th, 9th, or 10th gen processors cannot be sold with the latest version of Windows. That's it. They're still supported in terms of you at your home being able to actually install Windows 11 and run it. It's just not allowed to sell it. And Nvidia doesn't look like they're going to be selling their RTX 50 series laptops as soon as they wanted, because reports coming out from their supply chain that it's getting delayed, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is AMD behavior. This is not something we normally see from Nvidia when it comes to their laptops. Very regularly, they announce their new stuff at CES, and then a month later, maybe two, that you have RTX 50 series laptops that should be out and about, but that is allegedly not happening for multiple different reasons. Number one, RTX 50 laptop performance issues, not quite as fast as Nvidia wants. Laptop display bugs are also happening, and a shift of manufacturing resources to favor AI accelerator customers. So you can blame everybody else for that. And I don't know who specifically to blame for everybody getting their hopes up of 32 gigabyte RX 9070 XT or XTX. Obviously, I'm responsible. I reported it here on Hot News. And according to one of AMD's execs, Frank Azor, he says, this is not real. This is not happening. Now, his specific language caused a lot of people then to continue on with different reporting. So the official denial was that there will be no 9070 XT with 32 gigabytes of memory, at which point the original source, which I believe came from BenchLife, said, okay, that's great. They can deny it all they want. Our sources say that they are releasing a 32 gigabyte gaming card that is for AI bros and etc., but it will be in the gaming lineup, so it will be called the 9070 XTX maybe. That's the idea. 9070 XTX, 32 gigabytes of memory, to which Frank Azor then responded saying, it's actually going to be called the RX 90700.05 XT Max GPU with 320 gigabytes of VRAM and a 1.2 gigawatt power supply requirement with new 96-pin power connectors. So obviously some sassiness when it comes to Frank Azor on what exactly is going on. There's a lot of not outright denial, but obfuscation and just kind of mocking rumors and all of that kind of stuff. I have seen this kind of talk from AMD in the past when they are trying to deny something that people are getting excited about, that they will inevitably release. They just don't want people to get ahead of themselves because they haven't even released the 9070 XT. What the heck are we talking about? A 32 gig version 4. Let's pay attention to what's currently going on. I've seen that happen where they have done this type of PR damage control and then still release the thing. That's just a conspiracy theory, really, but currently, at the moment, AMD's, I guess, technically official statement is that this is not a thing that they're planning on releasing. So, in case you wanted the extra VRAM, looks like you're gonna have to get the Intel Arc Battlemist B580 with 24 gigs. Maybe. Or save up $2,500 for an RTX 5090, because that'll give you 32 gigs. Or maybe, hopefully, AMD continues to sell the 7900 XTX at a discounted price, because that still has 24 gigs. That'd be great. AMD, please give that to us for like $650, like you did with the 6950 XT. Drop that down to the $650 region. That was a great price. Give that to us for the 7900 XTX, please. And you guys gave me a bunch of comments on Friday's episode of Hot News, so let's go ahead and see what you had to say. Goisenti saying, probably NVIDIA forgot to enable AI anti-melting feature on that specific RTX 5080. Then Jeremy saying, NVIDIA insisting on giving us only 8 gigabytes of VRAM on the 5060 just screams 8 gigabytes on a Mac is the same as 16 on a regular computer. As games get more detailed, 8 just isn't enough anymore. You know, number one, I agree with you that this is the very same as Apple being like, 8's fine, but then obviously when they release Apple Intelligence, they're like, whoops, no, it wasn't. It actually wasn't. We have to release everything with 16. I think up until very recently, 8 actually still is fine, right? Like if you're running a 3060 8 gig and probably even a 4060, right? Like you're gonna be GPU core limited before your VRAM limited. That's just the nature of the game. I really don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be in terms of how much lower end cards need, but I think 16 gigs for a $1,000 GPU that also melts is tomfoolery in its highest form, and the least classy form of it too. Then we got I Am Spencer saying, the human nose can't smell more than 8 gigabytes anyways. I forgot about that. The Master saying, NVIDIA's just consistent, melting both your cables and your budget. Then Ericon saying, finally was able to score myself a 9800 X3D at MSRP. Can't wait to pair it with the 9070 XT. That's awesome. Congratulations. You're gonna enjoy it. A lot of patience to have the CPU ahead of when you're getting the GPU, but I mean, that's how a lot of people build their stuff. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get many good games out of that system. Then Cam saying, STI means something else. This is in reference to my new nomenclature that I've adopted for the 4070 Ti Super, calling it the STI. And Cam is right, it does stand for something else. Subaru Technica International, WRX STI. I get it. I understand where you're taking Subaru's name. I think it's funny. The NVIDIA 4070 STI. And if the 5070 STI pops its ugly head, I'm gonna treat it with antibiotics. Let's end this episode of Hot News. I'll be back here with more of the hottest tech news, hopefully tomorrow. If not, then maybe on Thursday. But I'll see you then, folks.